We are here with Jake Laughlin talking about his book, Get the Gig, a musician's guide to booking more live shows. So, Jake, how did this book begin, and what are the origins of the story here?
Well, I guess origins of the book is sort of origins of me. I grew up in Ponder, very small town, great place to grow up, but just a few hundred people.
Yeah.
And so we were just outside of Denton, Texas, which is this great music city. But I didn't know that. To us, Denton was like this huge, big deal because they had a movie theater, and that was really cool. You know, they also had a university, and I ended up going to college there. And really spent most of my life in Denton. And it wasn't until I was just about to graduate that I sort of fell backwards almost accidentally into talent buying and booking music, and realized, man, there is like insane levels of talent in this town. And thought, how is it that I grew up here but didn't know about it? And so I ended up getting into radio and starting my own program, DentonRadio.com, and promoting local artists and really getting into the whole talent buying thing a lot. Started going around to more and more and more venues, and the more musicians I met, the more venues were coming to me saying, hey, can you find somebody to play this or play that? And it started very small. It was, a little, we're going to play for tips, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that, it wasn't super big stuff, but started getting good at it. And the more venues I started working with, the bigger those venues started to become. And so pretty soon I was, booking big banquet halls for thousands of people and really big, checks for the artists and things like that. And started to realize that whether I was booking something on somebody's front patio for beers or whether we were talking, multi-$1,000 gigs, there was a lot of stuff that was really similar. That was almost exactly the same for both of those type of gigs. And I started thinking, man, there's patterns here that could work for any musician with any type of gig. And I started thinking, man, if I can just get more of this information in front of people, then maybe I could help some more musicians get more gigs. Because I think a lot of the times musicians think that they're not getting enough gigs because they're not good enough. And it's the exact opposite. They're very, very talented, but they might not be thinking of their music as a business. There might be a couple of, just small tweaks that they could be making. And even if an artist doesn't do a thing that I say, if they don't follow a word that's in this book, they don't have to. There's no one way to do this. But if I can just tickle that part of the brain that makes them start to think strategically about how they want to get themselves out there and treating that music like a business, not like a drag or anything, but like it is their business, I think a lot of them would find a huge, huge difference. Again, just small tweaks. And a lot of musicians start to that think that they're not good enough would start to realize it's not that they're not good enough. They're more than good enough. And they would see a lot more gigs out of something like that.